So in this video, we're gonna go over a technique that's referred to here in the United States as the switch. It's a version of Tani Otoshi. Now, the reason why we have this and why we've named it something slightly different is, again, that prerequisite to your judo where you are laying the groundwork that gets this technique to work, right? I'm not doing this as he's coming into a technique, right? Where traditionally Tani Otoshi is done, where he comes in, he brings his hips across, and then I counter by going behind. I'm using this as a very offensive technique, not defensive. This isn't something that I would do or suggest doing from losing grip positions where you feel like, I'm just gonna get out of the situation and get a good solid attack off. That is not why you do this. You do this to punish your partner's overreactions in a defensive way to the front. And what I mean by that is when you've won the inside position, you've won the sleeve battle, and you're trying to come in and throw him with all those forward throws, all he's doing is blocking with his hips, which is perfectly fine. That's what he's supposed to be doing. And he's just gonna keep blocking you with those hips all day unless you punish him and go behind and punish that hip turn. Now I can get behind his legs and then throw him backwards. And that's where the switch comes into play, okay? So we're here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pump my hips forward and I'm gonna get him to almost meet me hip to hip. A lot of times you'll see this leg with guys that are really good at it. They'll come in and you'll see it kind of almost match their body, okay? So I'm traveling with it. I'm not swinging and then going behind, leaving this foot where it is. It has to scoot in. Okay, sometimes you'll see guys go 1-2 to get that reaction and then go behind. I've personally preferred to do it after the hip pendulum swing where I sell the motion with my leg and my hands and I skip into position here. So there, I've gotten into position and now my head goes right on his heart. I pull him into me, my leg goes behind and I get hip contact with his thigh. My head comes into play. I slide that leg and we bring him to the floor. It's very, very important that your leg that is shooting behind does not touch and put weight on the ground. It glides just over the surface so that all the weight should be in your hands, almost like a pull-up. I want his body weight to hang the entire way through the technique. That's gonna prevent him from turning in to that ochi, right? Because that's everybody's first instinct is, well, I would just do ochi. The problem is because I've laid the groundwork, if I just keep bringing my hips, you haven't thought ochi, right? Because every time you're just blocking my throw. You're just blocking my throw. You're just blocking. Now, there, I can snake and go behind and the reaction, it's just too quick because I've set the groundwork before you have, okay? So again, while we're in this position from here, it's very, very important that you get to this part where your plant leg is even with theirs so that you can push your hips across and get his legs to meet together and then look to the rear, okay? So we're here, let's get this way a little bit, perfect. We're here, we set the groundwork, we get that hip action. You get that hip action. Get that hip action. Here, in. See, he's already on his heels because my hands are pulling his weight back. Okay? I'm changing that angle. Boom. Sink your weight. Press. Bring him down to the floor. Head to heart the entire way through. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think.